Hello everyone and welcome back to another deck tech. Today we're going to be looking at my Structurelock deck, that's what I'm calling it. It's basically a Gravelock structure hybrid, hence Structurelock, and it's really good. I've finally managed to find a deck which I can, have some success on ranked. So that's why I'm showing it, because, have some success. Yeah, I did promise you a Gravelock deck a while back, and I did work on one, but I just could never find one that was consistent enough. I tried your usual Gravelock deck. The standard one at the time was like Skull Shrines, Iron Whips, things like that. It's, yeah, 20 odd Gravelocks, whatever it was, with all the support scores, Fury, Machination Mindset maybe. That was a bit too... it wasn't very consistent. And when I tried a really aggressive version, you could win on turn 6, it was insane. But that wasn't. That was even less dependent. Yeah, that had a really low curve. All 3 Machination Mindsets, 3 Machinateds, 3 Desperations. Snargl Hunters were in it. It's quite a fun deck actually, but I gave up on that for now. Then I kind of put Gravelocks to rest for a bit. I tried to move on to other things because I wasn't having success. And about a week ago, sysp came to me and said, "Look what I've made. It's a structure / Gravelock deck. What do you think?" And I said, "What the hell is this rubbish?" He said, "What would you change?" And I gave him a list. And he said, "I don't like those changes." And I said, "Oh, I'll play the deck first, and then tell you what I think." And yeah, so the past 3 days or so, been playing this on my ladder, made a few changes. He's been playing the same version now as what we've got in front of me. This is the altered version. He's had it started off with 3 Solemn Giants, 2 Blind Rages instead of a Power Trip. There are no potion resistances. I can't remember all of it. But yeah, it wasn't too different from this. But yeah, we've both been playing this ranked together. We're like 20 wins and 2 losses, I think, on the ladder, which is pretty impressive for a deck such as this. So yeah, as I said, Structurelocks, combining structure, 190 structures, everyone's favourite deck, with Gravelocks. Now it's not your standard structure deck. Not in fact it's got like Gravelocks in it, but the structures we're using, we're not going with like down the like Machine Divinator route with Hired Smugglers and Overdrives maybe, Ether Pumps, Hell Splitter Mortars, Clock Libraries, those sorts of standard structures. We're going with structures which can independently be really useful on their own. So we've got like Useless Contraptions, Snargl Omelette, Charge Coil, State Machines. We'll get to all these later. I'm just trying to tell you what's going on. So they will be acting independently on their own and doing damage, which is what we want to happen. Then we've got some beefy creatures in Elders, Uhus, Freaks, or Gravelock Guard we buffed up, really useful. Solemn Giant for late game. Powerful removal, power chips for stuff, tick bombs to counter lots of structures which are being played right now. It's just an all-round fantastic deck. So, on that note, let's delve deeper, and we're going to start off by looking at the structures. Right, so as I started saying, this deck does run your lesser seen structures. I tried to stop myself from going into detail then because I'm not going to explain it all here, but your usual structures in a structure deck are, you'd see like 3 Ether Pumps, 3 Clock Libraries, 3 Mortars, 3 Forges, Hired Smugglers, Machine Divinators to support them, Oculus Cannons maybe now. It's really dependent on the structures, and then your only win con was Solemn Giants. That's the sort of thing people like, 'cause you just couldn't get through it. It's a real pain. This deck doesn't rely on that too much. We've only got 13 structures, so it is a half-half split, so we've only got 13 creatures as well. But yeah, the structures we've got are pretty solid on their own. They don't need any help, because they're quite quick. Useless Contraption. It costs 1 as a 4 health wall. That's all it is. It's there to stop early aggression, protect our own creatures, and a cheap way of buffing Machine Chant. That's all it does. 2 of them, because we don't really want 3, because there's no space. Mainly just kind of good against growth, because they will struggle to get through it early on. It just protects stuff and gets you off to a good start. So yeah, we've got 25 wins, 29 matches. Very useless contraption. It's just a wall, that's all useless contraption is. And we've got Forge. It still is the best structure in the game. 5 health for 3 cost, which isn't bad. Instead of attacking, Automata Forge summons a gun automaton on an adjacent tile. You can pay 3 energy to decrease countdown by 1. So you can pump some resources into this if you have some. Because it is a Gravelock deck with Omelette and a structure deck with Machine Chants, you will be ramping up quite quickly and rather highly. So a lot of the times you'll be pumping a lot of resources into your forges, so that's why they're in. Although it doesn't fit into the Gravelock theme, it fits into the energy theme, damn it, so we're going with it. Yeah. We've got Charge Coil, cost 3. It's got no attack, 1 countdown, 3 health. And when it attacks, a random opponent unit is dealt 1 damage. Now, I think this is the first deck which I've actually got Charge Coil in. I'm doing a deck tech, that is. Maybe. But yeah, they're weak against energy, goodish against growth, good against order, fantastic against decay. Get a couple of these out against decay, they're stuff, they couldn't do anything about it. Yeah, they'll start peeing things off. They don't need help from like machine diviners and stuff. That's why we're not running them. Just start weakening. A lot of creatures in the game now have 4 health, so if we can weaken them down to like 3 or 2, combined with State Machine, we're off to a really good start because we can use our removal and just take them out instead of having to work a lot harder. So that's why they're good. And also, it starts picking off Effigy of a Queen, which is really nice. And we've got a Snargl Omelette. So it's a new card. It costs 3. It's got 3 health. And you can pay 2 energy to sift 2 Gravelocks from your library and draw 1 of them. And we can use this ability if we have no scrolls in our hand. So, when the time comes, we can empty our hand, usually by sacking for resources, and then go and fetch a couple of Gravelocks and play them. So, it gives us a bit of card draw. Only Gravelocks. We only have 13 Gravelocks, so be wary of how many you've got rid of already and sacked. But yeah, gives us a bit of card advantage. We only need 2 because we have got so few Gravelocks, and the strategy doesn't revolve around Gravelocks too much, well, as much as your normal Gravelock deck does. So we only need 2, but yeah, can get out of hand very quickly. And then finally we've got a State Machine. It's a 4 health wall for 3, and when a creature comes into play on an opponent's side, it deals 1 damage to that creature. When its countdown becomes 0, it is destroyed. So State Machine really good against growth. Get 2 of these out. Growth can't play many of their stuff. Good against order. Reduces their health down. Effigy of a Queen does stop the damage, which is sad. But yeah, it just puts stuff in the range of your removal. If we can get things down to 2 health, Spark, Thunder Surge, Sudden Eruption can destroy it. Get it down to 3 health, Burn can destroy things. And that's what we want. We just want to weaken our opponent's units just enough so that our removal can reach them. And State Machines allows us to do that. I have quite a lot in my... I'll try that again. I have quite often in my games like gone turn 3 power chip into Charge Coil State Machine. And if your opponent just plays a creature, I mean it's going to take 2 damage. And they are upset. State Machine is going to deal damage to it. Charge Coil is going to deal damage to it. And it can really wreck your opponent's board and what they're doing. So between Charge Coil and State Machine, you can get a really odd situation where your opponents just can't do anything. And if they do, you've got like 1 or 2 health, which is really weak for what they're paying. So very good. Buys us some time. So yeah, that's the structure side of things. Now we'll look at the Gravelocks. This is where really the heart of the deck lies, I'd say. Okay, so your typical Gravelock deck would be running about 20 odd Gravelocks. I'll just see how many Gravelocks there are. So you'd have 3 guards, 3 Uhus, 3 elders. Hang on, I don't want description. I want time. Yeah. So you have raiders, guards, outcasts, Lockling brutes, Uhu, elder, and freaks. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 21. Plus the omelette, 24. Then maybe smuggler, 27. So that's quite heavy. We've cut that in half. We've only got 13 creatures, and not all of them are Gravelocks. Only 11 of them are. I'll start off with looking at the guard. Cost 2, it's a 2/2/3, and its pillage effect is a random opponent is dealt 1 damage. So this really starts picking things off. We are picking things quite often with Charge Coil State Machines. Combined with guard, it can get us off to a really quick start and just really wreck their board. Also, 1 buff from Elder means it's out of range of a lot of removal, like Veteran and Burn. 4 health is the way you want to be, so a really good creature, especially with Elder. We'll skip Solemn Giant. Uhu, it costs 4, so 2/2/4. It's unique, meaning you can only have one on the field at one time. And when Uhu's countdown is 0, you reset its countdown to increase your current energy by the number of Gravelocks you control. So we will be controlling a few Gravelocks. Uhu will allow us to ramp up and make huge plays, so we can get up to like 12, 13 energy quite easily. And make big plays with lots of removal, omelette plays, anything you like. It's just a really useful scroll to have. As I said, structure decks do tend to want to ramp up. They're using Echimatons maybe, or Machine Divinators to give them card advantage, or relying only on Machine Chants, things like that. But Uhu, or Skull Shrines actually, I don't like Skull Shrine, but Uhu just allows us to get incredible advantage when it works, which it does do quite often. And it's decent body combined with Elder as well. Anything with Elder is amazing. So yeah, we'll look at Elder now. Cost 5, so 3/2/5. Has been in the game forever. It's got range attack and other Gravelocks you control have +1 attack and +1 health. So all our Gravelocks are going to get bigger. So we can have quite a resilient force on our side of the field thanks to the Elders. You know, get a couple out. This is going to be a 4/5. This will be a 4/6. This will be a 4/6. This will be a 5/7. Freaks are pretty good. So yeah, we're going to have quite a lot of big things on board by paying not too much. And since we're going to have lots of resources anyway, yeah, we're going to be ahead. So Elder, probably the best scroll in the deck, I would say. One of the best scrolls in my game, actually. It's just really, really good for Gravelocks and decks in general. I like scrolls like this. I think it's a theme. And we've got Freak, another new scroll. Yeah, that's weird. It's 3/2/6 for 6. That's not too impressive. But when another Gravelock takes damage, Gravelock Freak's countdown is decreased by 1. So, yeah, combined with Elder, it gets bigger. It's a decent wall. But more importantly, it's kind of like a deterrent for your opponent to deal damage to our units, or our Gravelocks rather. If they do, Freak will be attacking, and Freak will deal a lot of damage very quickly if they don't watch out. So, just another big threat, which you can utilise. Then we've got Sudden Giant. Only got 2. Your typical structure deck would run 3. We only need 2 because we are running quite a few Gravelocks, or rather other creatures. It's more like your finisher scroll. It's not a 4-drop, it's a 10-drop really. Cost 4, has 8 attack, 6 countdown, 4 health. It doesn't count down, but you can pay 2 energy to decrease its countdown by 2. So, as I said, 10 cost. You can play it and pump it so it has haste. So you're paying 10 for an 8 hasted creature, which isn't too bad. Mainly used to sniper idols. If not, it's a Violent Dispersal in a creature, which is pretty powerful. And its animation is probably the best in the game because it's just really awesome. Look at that. Big things happening. So yeah, Solemn Giant, pretty good. Not as key as your normal structure deck. The thing about this deck is so balanced, it's not reliant on one like strategy. It's so variant in the way you can go. You can start off structures, you can start off Gravelocks. You can ramp up and play Solemn Giants. You can just look at playing Solemn Giants. You can play Solemn Giants turn 4 if you want. It doesn't really matter because if you lose Solemn Giants early, it doesn't matter. You've got Gravelocks. If Gravelocks die, it doesn't matter. You can rebuild with structures. It's just really resilient. And other words. What's the word? I don't know. I'm going to give up. I'm not even going to think. So, creatures. There we go. So next we're going to look at the removal. Your typical energy deck runs a bit of removal. The past deck I showed you had a lot. This has got even more. So we can start off by looking at the spot removal. Okay, so those of you that don't know, spot removal kind of means just removal that targets one creature. Say, that's how I'm defining it anyway. So we've got Spark. It costs 2, deals 2 damage to target unit, takes out anything early on, which is really useful. Helps finish things off thanks to State Machine and Charge Coils and our guards. Opponent's health is going to be reduced quite a bit, so Spark's going to help you there. Yeah, just stops early aggression, kills things, does a job. Burn, same thing. Cost 4, deals 3 damage to target unit, and if that unit is destroyed, you draw a scroll. So does 1 more damage, cost 2, but you draw a scroll, which is really nice. And this is where you want to try and get your opponent's creatures into range of 3 health. That kind of defines the energy matchup actually. If your opponent has units that have 4 health, you're stuffed, because the only way removing them is with Violent Dispersal, which costs a lot more, and you've only got 3 health. So if you get them down to 3 health, burn, brilliant. Don't be afraid to play it without drawing the scroll. That's a mistake lots of people make. They save, or they keep a hold of burn because they want to play it the following turn to get the draw, say. Like say an Ether Pump's going off, and the opponent's got a 4 health minion. They'd want to play burn next, because then they want to play burn next turn because then they get the draw. Don't do that, just play burn straight away and kill things. Much better idea. Yeah, we've got Machine Chant. Normally you'll be chanting for like 2 attack the majority of the time, but it does ramp you up, it does do a job. We can get quite a few structures on the field. It costs 5, it does damage to target units equal to the number of structures you control, and increases your energy by 1. So it ramps, it deals damage, fantastic in the late game. Just more removal, helps with burn because this will allow us to kill 4 health minions, which is really useful. Then we've got Violent Dispersal. It costs 6, deals 8 damage to target units, kills anything apart from Waking Stones, things with potion resistance, or I don't know, a big magic armor unit. I think that's everything. But yeah, prioritise your targets wisely, I'd say, with Violent Dispersal. Yeah, don't just waste it, because we are pretty good. Yeah, so that's for spot removal. Then we've got the other side of removal, which is like your board wipe stuff, and we have quite a bit of that as well. Right, so starting off, we have 3 Sudden Eruption. It costs 4-ish. Has Surge, which means when the spell is cast, all remaining resources of its type are spent. The Surge value X is equal to the amount spent. So if we had 9 resources, the Surge value would be 5, and 2 damage to X random opponents is the effect. So 5 of our opponent's units would take 2 damage. So Sudden Eruption is a Thunder Surge, a more expensive Thunder Surge, but it's got no restriction in terms of units having to be together. Speaking of Thunder Surge, it costs 6, target units and connected units and dealt 2 damage. So combined with these two, our opponent is not safe. They're going to be taking 2 damage quite regularly, and they're stuffed. When you get a good Thunder Surge going, you know, your opponent is normally in a game. Your opponent is forced to offer you a few opportunities to get a good Thunder Surge off. So that's why we have them. They do play around it, so you know it still has its uses. But Sudden Eruption, as I said, there's no escape, and we are going to have lots of resources. So Sudden Eruption will be quite big when played. So yeah, that's them. Now we have finally the scrolls, which don't really fit into any other category. Well, actually one does, but I kind of put it into this category anyway. Yeah, we'll just look at the rest of the scrolls now. Right, so these scrolls are more your sort of support scrolls, or really sort of niche scrolls targeted at dealing with what your opponent's doing, necessarily more, you know, niche strategies. That's what you're trying to counter with these. So potion resistance is there just to counter aggro, mainly from growth, sometimes decay. I mean, that makes it sound weird, but it's there to slow your opponent down if they're trying to be too aggressive, and it can just stop your opponent in their tracks. Like they're thinking of doing a big play next turn. You stick a potion resistance down. Now they're like, what the heck do I do? When playing against energy, you can do that also. They can't use their removal. Stick it on a 6 health elder. They're planning on Violent Dispersing it, and you know it's got a potion resistance on. So what can we do? Tick Bomb. So this could have been in spot removal, but it's here because it's targeting structures mainly. You can struggle sometimes against mono energy and order with their structures. So Tick Bomb is there to deal with that, and it makes them rage because you're not allowed to run Tick Bomb. So a couple of these just keeps your opponent in check. Takes out forges, oculus cannons, waking stones because they can be in pain. Effigy of the Queen. When that loses ward, you'll be able to Tick Bomb it. I'm not saying it will, but it should. So when that happens, Tick Bomb will be useful there. And finally we've got Power Trip. Really good scroll still. It costs 3, increase your current energy by 6, and if it's spend 11 or more, draw 1 scroll. We gain the resources a lot. We're going to be hitting 11 resources to draw that scroll quite often. So that's why Power Trip's on the deck. It allows us to make big plays without our opponents expecting it. And turn 3, we can make big plays like Power Trip into Freak, Power Trip into Charge Coil State Machine, Power Trip into Elder. You know, just big plays like that, which your opponent's going to find difficult to react to. So yeah, that's all of that. Now we're going to take one final look at the deck and head into some games. So, we're going to go through the deck one last time. We've got 2 Potion of Resistance, 2 Useless Contraptions, 3 Gravelock Guards, 3 Sparks, 3 Forges, 3 Charge Coils, 3 Power Ships, 2 Snargl Omelette, 3 State Machine, 2 Tick Bomb, 3 Burn, 2 Solemn Giants, 3 Sudden Eruptions, 2 Uhu Longnose, 3 Gravelock Elders, 3 Machine Chants, 2 Gravelock Freaks, 2 Thunder Surges, and 3 Violent Dispersals. So yeah, as I said earlier, when you're playing this deck, you can go in 2 directions. You can go the structure variant, or you can go Gravelocks, depending on how your hand is. You can go for a bit of mixture of both. But mainly try and aim to get Charge Coil, State Machines, and Guards down early to start pinging things off. And then your removal obviously gets played when you feel you need to. Then you go into your bigger stuff by playing Power Chips into Elders and doing Machine Chant plays and Thunder Surges and just playing creatures to dominate the board. You're going to have a lot of resources. You're going to have lots of scrolls in hand sometimes. Otherwise, you can just play Omelettes and just start dropping Gravelocks. There's just lots of things you can do. And also, remember to give credit to sysp, because this is about 90% of his deck. I just came in and finished it off. So, plaudits to sysp for coming up with it, and I'm going to thank him for the deck, because it's mainly him. So, thanks sysp. But yeah, it's time for a game now. So we're going to head into ranked and yeah, see how it goes. Right, so we've got a game against Scrolldev, who isn't actually a dev. This starting hand isn't too bad. We can go turn 1 Useless Contraption, turn 2 Gravelock Guard, turn 3 Power Trip into Freak, which is not too bad. I've never actually done turn 3 into Gravelock Freak yet, so we'll see how this goes. And he's playing Growth. So Sudden Eruption is actually quite useful, as is Potion of Resistance. I think we'll keep Potion of Resistance. And we're going to go Useless Contraption here. So if we can get our Gravelocks going, hopefully we should be fine, depending on how aggressive his Growth deck is. It should struggle to deal with a 3-6 turn 3, especially with the start he's had. Snargl Omelette will be really good as well to recover my hand after going Power Chip into Freak turn 3. I might even be tempted to, depending on, if I draw like a Charge Coil or a State Machine turn 3, I might be tempted to sack the Freak and go Power Chip into Omelette that instead. We'll see. He surrendered! Hooray! That's just too strong. Okay, well, I think we'll try a different game then. So, yeah. That was obviously the power of intimidation. So, let's try one more. Right, so we'll try that again, shall we? Good luck again. We know he's playing Growth. This hand isn't too brilliant against Growth, so we're going to mulligan it and hope for something better. That's kind of alright, actually. We can Power Trip into Elder turn 3. Actually, do I want to do that? I think... Say Thunder Surge, could that be quite good? He won't be expecting that, and that will scare him. I don't know. I think we'll keep the Useless Contraption. I think we'll go with the Elder plan. Because we'll start at the bottom here, because it's not the best, or the most aggressive of starts for us, so we'll go with this. We're playing Energy now. Okay. Well, that's changed things. Charge Coil is not too good against Energy. Elders are, so we're going to turn 3 Elder. Maybe. We'll see. Smuggler. Sudden Eruption. Okay, here we go. Let's go turn 3 Elder. Get that going. He should be able to deal with all that until turn 6, so that'll be good. He's playing some structures. We have Tick Bombs. That's a Spark. That's pretty good there. So we'll just take out that. I'll get rid of Sudden Eruption next turn and play State Machine maybe. Really, I want to draw some Gravelocks. Who's playing Gravelocks as well? Okay, so we don't want to go too close to this now then. We've got a burn, actually that's pretty good. Stack the scrolls again. Gravelock Guard. Now, do I want to go Guard or State Machine? Turn 5, you can play Elder, which I can VD in a few turns. I think we'll just go Guard because this will start picking things. I think it'll be better than State Machine here. So yeah, once you basically use VD on anything, just on Elders really. We've got a Forge. They're not too bad. This can use Machinated, which is a worry. So I'm just going to burn this, see what we draw. That. Okay, because he's playing Gravelocks, we don't tend to run Bombard, so I'm tempted to move up here. I think I will. I think we can get away with it. I've got a Forge as a wall. He runs away. He can do things because he has got this out, so he gets a Freak. Okay, let's see what we draw. Tick Bomb. So if I play Tick Bomb on this, that's not too bad. And we've got the VDs. So we'll take up a Gun Automaton here and do some damage to the Freak. Omelette, okay. So what do we play here? Do we go for resources and destroy this? I think we do. Seems to be the sensible decision. And we can play a VD again next turn. Mainly going to be concentrating on trying to destroy the Omelette. Smuggler, Smuggler, Machinated. Sure, okay. So we can destroy that, We get an Uhu, which is nice. I think we'll play the Uhu up here because we are quite a bit scared of these. Take out that and take out the Omelette. The Shrine now goes. So something like a Sudden Eruption would be quite good. I don't really want to use the VD to take out this because I do want to save it for the Elders. Sudden Eruption. Power Trip, not good enough, I don't think. I think we'll sack the Power Trip actually. I want to save the Tick Bombs for things. Machine Chant's not good enough either. So I could just kill this, but I can destroy structures. I think we'll just go Guard. Yeah, I can try and get some resources from Uhu next turn. Another Useless Contraption. Okay. You might just take out my Useless Contraption, which... Nah, it's alright. I'd rather them do that than destroy idols. Thunder Surge. Okay, that's fun. Let's get the Machine Chant here then. Draw a Freak, so I could play Freak, gain resources to get up to 5, so that's not good enough, so we're just going to draw some cards here. Oh, gain resources rather. Play Thunder Surge. And then we'll destroy that. Destroy his guard, and we'll play Charge Coil as well. So we're definitely playing it more... Oh, he's surrendered. So we definitely play that game more of a Gravelock themed rather than structures, but yeah, it showed off the power of the Gravelocks there and the support scrolls we've got. So that's the structure Gravelock deck. There were quick games, so again, I will be doing a gameplay video later on. So there'll be like maybe 3 or 4 games if they're this long. Depends on the quality, but anyway, we'll leave that at that. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I shall see you next time. Goodbye.